Howdy folks, and welcome to my first impressions on the WildGate beta, where I'll discuss what enticed me about this PvP multiplayer tactical shooter enough to make this video, and what I'd love to see moving forward with its development. My friends and I only got a couple of games in during the open beta weekend, but I felt like it was enough to have an opinion. This game has potential, like a lot of potential, because of three key parts: the art style, the premise, and the gameplay. WildGate is a self-described PvP multiplayer shooter that blends tactical ship-to-ship combat with first-person action. The setup is there are 5 teams of 4 people. Each team inhabits a ship, and after a lengthy countdown, a minute and 30 is way too long, are deployed into the void of space to fight it out for something called the artifact. Before you enter the void, you can select your character and loadout, which surprisingly had a lot of variability. Each character has a set of powers they can utilize and synergize with the rest of the crew. It seemed like going all the same character would just be a hindrance more than anything. I enjoyed this system since unlocking characters and special abilities will mold your playstyle to what you want to be. Do you like the idea of being a space pirate and want to teleport on other people's ships to sabotage them? Amazing! There is a character that's built for that. Do you think you'll like to drive your teammates around and repair the ship if, God forbid, you're targeted by a sniper cannon? There's a character for that. Then you have your loadout, which had different weapons and even some support archetypes, which I thought was outstanding, since with enough coordination, healing skewed the scales of PvP. Okay, so you've gotten your character and your crew has materialized in the lobby. The next thing you might notice is the board telling you which effects are on the map. What a great mechanic to have the void be different each time. Even though we saw only a couple of different effects, this is a great way further down the line of making more competitive void maps for the not so faint of heart sailors. I will say, and this is a huge caveat, this game is way easier when you have 3 other people you can talk to over Discord. Even though there is voice chat with randoms, having cohesion and making sure everyone is communicating is not just the key for survival, it feels fantastic. So your team gets warped into the void looking for this artifact, and immediately pulling up the map made me think of Battleship. You're in a grid and you know that there are 4 other ships with the same objective as you, which kind of makes the situation a game theory scenario. Before you go after the artifact, you'll need to upgrade your ship. To do so, there are different areas that your team will need to explore in order to find upgrades for your ship. This upgrade system included some awesome weapons, shields, speed boosts, or even sabotage equipment you can install in other people's ships, but we'll get there soon. For now, I really enjoyed the aspect of exploring the void, setting down at certain areas of interest to explore them, while also having to remember to check our surroundings for any approaching enemy ships. The PvE aspect during these objectives was okay. Even though everything looks awesome, the gunplay felt a little bit lacking, at least when fighting these guys that would just reappear. Plus the guns didn't have any oomph that, Destiny has, or any other applicable games. I did enjoy that each point of interest had a different difficulty and thus better loot when you take the chance, whether it takes you longer leaving you more open to attack, or you deplete your resources like ammo and waste time. I say waste time since there is a way to win the game without even seeing another ship, but I think it's almost impossible. So your crew has explored, avoided enemy ships with good probe scouting, and you found the artifact. Great job! You're only halfway there, and everyone wants to kill you now. Once you grab the artifact or even discover it, everyone has that knowledge. Just like Hunt the Showdown, once the artifact is in the ship, it pings other players where it's headed, and that's the win condition. I say that you could win without seeing anyone because if you somehow got the artifact without engaging anyone, the next step is to bring it to the portal, somewhere hopefully farther or closer depending on who has the artifact, to extract. Yes, you could technically say this is an extraction shooter, but the paradigm shift once one ship gets the artifact seemed to be an enemy of an enemy is a friend. But what can you do if you see the other team flying off into the darkness with the artifact? Well, you can try to blow them up in spectacular fashion. Upgrading the ship and seeing the differences in weaponry was astonishing to put it boldly. Even witnessing ship battles through the probe's eyes made me go, wow, this is beautiful. And it's all under the crew's control. Want to be a close quarter shotgun ship? Do insane moves to get close to your enemies? Do it! Want a third party with a sniper cannon? Do it, that's what they're built for. But if you're not a ship person and you were interested in the PvP, well, I told you being a space pirate was on the docket.
Enemy ship detected.
Oh, if we can ambush them, looks like they have nothing. They're doing an excavator
We don't
shot.
have much more.
That's true, we can board them.
Time to
Alright, let's do
try.
it. Oh yeah, they're right there. Let's do it.
Let's do both. Let's bring the ship over and let's board them.
You can try to sabotage enemy ships by boarding them, finding an entryway and triggering their nuclear reactor to explode. This comes with a myriad of interesting choices for the team and individuals to make. We had a hard time knowing what would be better. Do we send one person to try to stealth their way in? Do we defend and use our ship as the main attack? Or do we go balls to the wall and take on the enemy ship as a 4-stack? All of these choices and decisions have ramifications, good and bad, and that's the beauty of the gameplay. It's okay if you blow up, it's okay if you lose. The game has a progression system that will get fleshed out, so each margin will make you stronger or at least more knowledgeable. As a fan of lots of PvP arena games, since I view the Void as an arena, I'm very excited to see what they'll expand on release and afterwards. I would like to see more diversity in points of interest, maybe puzzles included, or something that's not just shoot 3 waves of enemies without the most satisfying gunplay. Loot and upgrades can definitely be more fleshed out as well, and the ideas are endless. Who wants to equip 2 engines to an enemy ship and watch them crash into a rock? That would be freaking awesome. I also hope that if you don't have 3 other willing crewmen to join you, that the public games skew more into communication rather than finger pointing. You'll be lucky enough to survive against enemies, let alone the Void itself. There is a scenario where no one wins, since they kill each other and that happened to us. I also would love to see the different side objectives. Maybe not as powerful as winning the game with the artifact extraction, but maybe there's a space whale boss or something outside the main mission parameters to give players something else to be on the lookout for. The visuals really struck me as I enjoyed the character models as well as the aesthetics of the Void. They did a good job, and even though it reminds me of Overwatch a lot in terms of the shine of the characters and sort of aesthetic, there's enough heart in the game to feel distinct. Maybe it's a computer thing, but I did mention lobby times to start taking way too long. Even a minute would do the trick, but I could be wrong on that. The sound also is great, with each weapon having their own unique noise, and audio cues can be helpful when defending your ship against saboteurs. I'd also love to see team ultimates, which I know skews heavily in favor of communicative teams, but I think it would have been cool if synchronizing certain moments, or like a legendary cannon having to press the button all at the same time, would yield better results. All in all, my friends and I were really happy with how WildGate Beta turned out, and we're excited to play fully next month. There's a lot of potential here, and I truly hope the developers listen to their fan base and build on what they currently have. I'd love to know what your thoughts were on the beta, if you had a chance to play more than me, or was there something that turned you away from the game. Thanks for taking the time, and talk soon.
Oh, over there. Look at that old research vessel. My crew goes into places like that all the time. Venture loves to explore, but Ion just loves the danger. Samo generally hangs out with me. He doesn't like exploring. He says it's noisy and sometimes sticky. Why would it be sticky?